What is going on, YouTube? I'm back again, giving y'all great content tonight. Want to say before I start, thank y'all for the comments on my previous video about the racism going that recently happened on TikTok from Carrollton, Georgia. I appreciate y'all comments. I'm going to keep giving y'all content. I'm going to keep grinding because that's what I do. All right. So again, another video. I don't like really doing these videos, but this week it's just been, I think it was offensive week. It had to be because there's a couple more that is going on. So let's jump into this one. Now this is Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is a NASCAR driver that's one of the top young NASCAR drivers. Well, last Sunday, uh, Kyle Larson was participating in the virtual, iRacing for a virtual replacement series. He's been doing it off and on for the NASCAR side, but he did iRacing this time without it not being a NASCAR event. He was online with some other um, drivers, and he went on to basically after not doing so well in the race, he dropped the N word, and it went as follows. Um, he said the following on that Sunday: "You can't hear me." That what Austin said at first. Then he said, apparently not realizing that he was broadcasting to the world, he said, "Hey, Ninja." Other drivers immediately reacted with shock, and one of them quickly said, "Kyle, you're talking to everyone, bud." NASCAR got out in front. They hurried up. They suspended him. As soon as they suspended him, he also lost some sponsors. Now, this is what NASCAR had to say why they suspended him. Uh, NASCAR has made diversity and inclusion a priority and will not tolerate the type of language used by Kyle Larson during Sunday's iRacing event. It said in a statement, "Our member conduct guidelines are clear in this regard, and we will enforce these guidelines to maintain an exclusive environment for our entire industry and fan base." Now, Larson was also suspended from the iRacing events. This is what iRacing released. They said iRacing considers itself to be a welcome and inclusion community for racing enthusiasts all around the world. We have strict policies against offensive behavior and language in its statement. Now, they said Carl Larson's language last night, talking about last Sunday, during a string online race was both offensive and inappropriate and in violation of our sporting code. As such, Kyle Larson has been suspended indefinitely from iRacing services. So after this all happened, you know what they usually do when they get caught up like this. He released an apology statement. "I'm sorry. I wasn't raised this way. This is not what I usually do, blase, blase." Then they still didn't stop him from losing sponsors because these are the following sponsors that this young man lost immediately: McDonald's, Credit One Bank, which, if you don't know what Credit One Bank is, it's usually for people who are trying to get their credit started or have fair credit and trying to get to bigger banks, and Fiserv. I don't know who Fiserv is. Now, this is what's funny. While they dropped and terminated their sponsorship deals with him immediately, Chevrolet has halted it. It just said, "I'm just going to stop right now." His personal servant relationship, and he's faced with the loss of financing Chip Ganassi Racing. The racing team Larson was driving for announced today that they were firing him. They said, "Listen, we can't have you on here." That was Sunday. This all happened before 24 hours. So after he lost all this, um, He also lost Lucas Oil too, which was a partially sponsor of his entry in the world of outlaw sprint car races as possible. So when he had all this going on, he may also look at some fines. He went up here and reached out to who you thought he reached out to. Who else but the only black NASCAR driver in the game, Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace went on to say that him and this young man, Cal Larson, had a conversation. And after the conversation, he felt like that Kyle Larson needed another chance. This is what he said. Um, with what he had made a tag about it after he talked about it. He said there is on Twitter, he said there's only one driver from an African American background at the top level of our sport. I am the one. You're not going to stop hearing about the black driver for years. Embrace it, accept it, and enjoy the journey. I know y'all probably going to ask me, what do I think about this? I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And I'm going to be 100 about it. First and foremost, when Carl Lawson used that word, Sunday, so smooth, so gracefully, without any issues, he's been using this word. Okay, y'all, this is not something that just started yesterday or that day or a couple of months back. He's been doing this for a while, probably his whole life. That's number one. Number two, the reason why he went in and did that apology is not because he really meant it, because I could just tell by the video, and you can see it for yourself. I dropped the link for you. Hell, you can search it on Twitter. This was an apology of somebody desperate trying to save their money because he knew that now he has that perception that he's been trying to hide behind closed doors. You know, it's all funny games to people find out what you do in the dark and came out to the light. And then reaching out to Bubba Wallace. That was just a last ditch effort to get Bubba Wallace to co-sign that he's born again changed within that quick of seconds without even thinking about anything. And everybody should move forward, give him his sponsorship back, give him his job back at NASCAR and move forward. Kyle, I hate to tell you, you just as clueless as you were when you first used that word without even thinking, son. You can't go backtrack on stuff like that. You got to stand up like a man and take what's coming to you. And that's just true facts. You're just gonna have to stand up and take what's coming to you. I mean, you going up here trying to get people to cover for you, but it's not going to happen. I mean, I'm just being 100 about it because at the end of the day, you was wrong, and you forced everybody's hand. And what you should be doing instead of trying to get Bubba to co-sign for you, sending out weak apologies, you should be trying to reach out to the collective in general and try to change the perspective of these other drivers that you probably are around. They got the same mindset, just that they didn't say it, but they do have that same mindset. Because, like I said before, this is something that you have probably been around a collective group of people and been doing this for a while. It's not something that you just started doing. That's what you should have done. You should have reached out to those type of people, and you should have reached out to the community, and you should have said, "Listen, y'all, I made a mistake. I want to learn. Let me try to talk about this. Let's try to get this together." But hey, man, it is what it is. I don't feel sorry for Kyle at all. Like I said in the last video, I do not feel sorry for ignorance on any color side because this too much is going on. Coronavirus, people trying to survive, people losing family members, this, that, and the third. We don't have time for this at all. So if y'all like my video, please like it, share it. And if you like it with the thumbs up, it doesn't mean you like what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that you agree with what I'm saying. It's just saying that you like the fact that I took the time to make the video and to give you content that you can watch and you yourself can make your own judgments and everything else. You can follow me also on here. You can follow me on Twitter and you can follow me on Instagram as well. So, to end this, to wrap this up about how I feel about Cal. Cal, if you're looking at this, this is how I feel, sir. You need to listen to me very carefully. Your mom and dad, one time when they even had an idea of you being conceived, should have took the plain B pill. That's all I got.